All right, now we just have to tear it down. Go ahead and unplug things you don't need, turn off speakers, turn off your microphone, unplug, 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 unhook. You want to be just as fast tearing down as you are setting up. One of the reasons why so many venues will refer us is because we get out of the venue very quickly. You can tear down in whatever order you feel like. I prefer reversing the order that I set up in. I like to put my stuff back the way I got it out because that ensures me and makes me feel comfortable about my next gig because I know where everything's at and I know that I'm not going to forget something. If you put something back the same way every time, then if you need to double check to make sure you have something, you know where to check for it. And if it's not there, you know you don't have it. I'm going to go ahead and get my tripods out of the way so I'm not tripping over them. It's easier to walk around your DJ rig when you're tearing down when there's not a big tripod in the way. Normally, when I'm tearing down, I go ahead and shut down Serato because oftentimes it takes a couple minutes for Serato to actually shut down. That could be because I had a laptop with a hard drive in it instead of an SSD. But I'll start with my speakers and my lights first to give Serato enough time to shut down. You always want to eject your hard drive before you unplug it. And the reason for doing that is because you don't want to lose your Serato crates. You don't want to corrupt your music, which I've done before, by being too impatient. Now, a little tip on making your setup and tear down faster. When you're tearing down, ensure that you roll the cable over and under, because then when you go to pick up your equipment or set it up, it's ready to go and it uncoils easily and you don't have to untangle the entirety of the cable. Now where did I guess I put them away already, didn't I? I always try and keep a couple IECs in my lights so I know if I just take this bag out instead of maybe my entire lighting bag that I use for an executive DJ gig, that I will have my IECs in the smaller bag. Normally I just take my whole rig to every event though, just in case, because having backup cables is never a hindrance. It's always a help. Let's put these in our speaker bags. Let's tip this up, unplug all those, tip it back, set it to the side. Now we can coil up everything that's going to stay inside of our wireless mic rack. If you don't have one of these, I encourage you to get one because they are a lifesaver. It looks so much more professional if you, as a DJ, are able to give a wireless mic to somebody that's going to give a toast rather than stringing out 50 feet of cable for your wired mic. But we'll talk about gear choices in another video. Sometimes it takes longer to tear down than it does to set up, simply because you're coiling cables instead of uncoiling them. And uncoiling cables is always faster. Let's get our speaker cable. I'm going to grab it by the coil because it's already halfway coiled up because I never really fully uncoiled it. So that'll save me a few seconds. And I'm going to put this in my speaker bag just in case I ever need to quickly grab a speaker from home. I know that it has everything in it that it needs, such as a power cable, an XLR cable. Often I will keep my RCA to 1/8 inch adapter in there in case I need to plug in my phone. And you can have a full ceremony PA in one bag ready to go when you're using K12s. The only thing I haven't kept in my K12 bags is a microphone. I probably should, I just haven't yet. See how much faster and easier it is to coil a cable if you didn't have to untangle it to begin with. If you're at a venue, don't just yank your cords out of the wall. You don't want to pull an outlet out of the wall if it's not properly installed, so don't do what I just did. You're all packed up and ready to load it on the cart. We'll cover that in a second video.